The rising stars of collegiate athletics are more influential than ever. But it's challenging to find resources that address the unique name, image, and likeness opportunities that today's student athletes enjoy. Teach your student athletes to define their personal brands, leverage their status, and attract sponsorships and deals. Introducing Mimic NIL. In this first-in-the-world simulation, students will step into the role of an advisor at Julian Communications, a fictitious consulting agency that assists student athletes with their NIL efforts. Your students will help a fellow student athlete navigate the technicalities of name, image, and likeness regulations. Learn how to negotiate sponsorship deals. Write cold outreach emails. Compare promotional opportunities. Identify sponsors that align with their brand. Use brand guidelines as an influencer. And assemble a portfolio of work that can be used in real-world NIL scenarios. Mimic NIL provides student athletes with real-time, individualized feedback on their objectives and assignments. Plus, it automatically grades their work, saving educators hours of time. This simulation can be used in online, in-person, or hybrid classrooms. And it pairs perfectly with our courseware, Name, Image, and Likeness, personal branding strategies for student athletes. Help your students improve their personal branding game with Mimic NIL from Stukent.
Wow, isn't that great? Hi everyone, and welcome to the launch webinar for our newest simulation, Mimic NIL. I'm Chad Gray, Product Marketing Manager here at Stukent, and I'll be taking you on a journey through this brand new, game-changing simulation. As many of you might already know, Stukent launched a revolutionary new curriculum called Name, Image, and Likeness, Personal Branding Strategies for Student Athletes. This new courseware has been praised by educators as being something long awaited for. Today we're taking the NIL game to the next level with Mimic NIL. The NIL bundle is now available and better than ever. On top of all the already great assignments found in the NIL courseware, Mimic NIL will help you bring actionable experiences and practice to your students. You'll be able to help them build a personal brand as a student athlete in a simulated environment so they can take it into the real world. This simulation isn't just for student athletes. It's meant for anyone who wants to be a part of the new playing field of name, image, and likeness. We have a lot to cover today, and I know you're all excited to get an inside look at the simulation, but before we do that, I want to tell you about a few sweet events that will help you level up your sports marketing game. Next week, we'll be hosting a unique event with the author of Name, Image, and Likeness, Dr. Mary Beth Kuzmeski. She'll be talking about and diving deep into a program she created at Oklahoma State called The Brand Squad, a student-run agency for sports marketing. If you'd like more details on the event or would like to register for it, just click the link on the screen now. As an added bonus, check out the NIL panel discussion we did with a few professors from across the country. They gave us great insight into how NIL courses are being taught at other universities and a few of their success stories. We've got a link to their discussion right here. All right, now we're ready for the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's take a deeper look into the newest Stukent simulation, Mimic NIL. Students will take on the role of an NIL consultant at the Julian Communications Agency, where they will be consulting a tennis-playing student athlete named Jordan Bennett. With Mimic NIL, students will be able to demonstrate writing skills through cold outreach emails, demonstrate negotiation skills through sponsorship deal discussions, compare and contrast various promotional opportunities, strengths and weaknesses, identify sponsors that align with a personal brand, use and understand brand guidelines as an influencer, and assemble a portfolio of works that can be used in real-world NIL scenarios. Stukent simulations all follow a similar look and feel. Here are some of the most consistent aspects of every Mimic simulation. The simulation is set up with multiple rounds for students to complete. Each round starts with an overview video that students should watch to learn about the round's objectives. Students also have an inbox where they can get important round information from agency leaders. The Notifications Hub is where students will answer questions from their colleagues about NIL rules and best practices. The Resources button will provide access to important information and material pertaining to the round students are working in. Finally, after submitting a round, students will be directed to the results panel where they will receive feedback on their work. In the introductory round, students are treated like a new employee. They will receive an orientation guide to familiarize themselves with the Julian Communications Agency. They are also given information with regard to their student-athlete client, Jordan Bennett. This information will be important for them to know as they make suggestions to Jordan's personal brand throughout the simulation. In rounds 1 and 2, students are tasked with helping Jordan get sponsorship deals. They will read about various companies and ultimately select the one they think will fit best with Jordan's brand. After they've made their selection, they will then build an email pitch to reach out to the company they selected. While they wait for a response, students will now have the opportunity to negotiate sponsorship terms with other companies. They do that by selecting the business size and the company within that size. They fill out the compensation and content hours boxes according to what Jordan is capable of doing. If the offer is accepted, they will then be able to proceed. If not, they can negotiate further. Last, they will finalize the offer and move forward with the deal. Something unique to this simulation is that students will finish every round by doing a personal development activity, with the idea being that they can work on building their own personal brand. For example, in this round, students are building an email to present to a local business. In rounds 3 and 4, students will analyze promotion opportunities. They will review contracts from various companies that could make a great option for Jordan. However, students will have to use critical thinking to determine which contract deal is best. After deciding on which contract is best for Jordan, they'll need to respond to the offer by writing an email. To finish this round, students will continue their personal development activities by creating a sales pitch to the local company they identified in previous rounds. Their sales pitch will be peer-reviewed in the next round. Starting in round 5, students learn that all their sponsorship outreach and negotiation has paid off, and Jordan has landed a sponsorship deal with Bowie Supply Co. and will begin to work with them through to the end of the simulation. Students will get information about Bowie Supply Co. as a company, as well as information about Bowie's social media best practices. After familiarizing themselves with the company, students will begin helping Jordan with a social media takeover for Bowie Supply Co. by creating organic social posts for Bowie according to the guidelines they received. They'll select the platform they want to post to, as well as the media, and they'll finish by writing a caption. They have the ability to schedule as many posts as they'd like. Students are then asked to provide feedback to their peers' sales pitches from the previous round. Then finally, they'll end this round by completing another personal development activity, this time by creating and recording their own elevator pitch. For the rest of the simulation, students will continue creating social media posts for Bowie, completing their personal development activities, as well as providing feedback to their peers. Finally, after completing the simulation, students will receive a congratulations message and a list of skills they can now add to their resumes. Mimic NIL has 2 pricing options available. The first option is the simulation itself for $59.99 per student, and the second option is the simulation bundled with the digital courseware, name, image, and likeness, personal branding strategies for student athletes for $119.99 per student. I encourage you to talk it over with your course consultant so they can help you decide which option is best for your specific needs. If you're interested in either of these options, schedule a demo with your course consultant to get a more personalized look at the simulation. Or, if you're ready to order now, you can book a time with your customer success manager to get your class all set up. I hope you enjoyed the first behind-the-scenes look at Mimic NIL and are as excited as we are for the simulation. If you want to take an even deeper dive, go ahead and hit the Request Access link on the screen. Please help us spread the word of this new curriculum by sharing the news with your friends and colleagues. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day and happy teaching.